perhaps there is a limiting belief within the plumbing business owner that says, I need to keep as much money in my bank account as possible at all times. And if it's not always just going up, then then I'm doing something wrong. What do you think? Could you speak to that idea?
Yeah, at some point in time, like, you have to get used to the idea of cash flow. And I know we've
Mm-hmm.
talked about this a lot in the past, but it's this idea that as you go throughout the week, you're making money, right? Every day
Yeah.
you make more money, and you need to be willing to like drain that bank account down to a point to be able to reinvest into your business, whether that's into equipment, vehicles, new team members,
Mm-hmm.
or new marketing channels. You have to be willing to take some of that cash, be okay with it disappearing, knowing that that cash is going to make you more money in the future
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to put things in place that are going to bring more work your way, or things in place where you're going to actually be able to go do more work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, the faster you get to the point where you can do the maximum amount of work, the better off you are.
Right.
Right. The
Mm-hmm.
faster you can get to 7 techs in the field, 8 techs in the field, 9 techs in the field, the more money you're going to generate, and the better your cash flow is going to be, and the
Mm-hmm.
faster your bank account's going to fill up.
Mm-hmm.
So why not get there as quickly as possible?
Sure. Yeah. And it
And
starts with being comfortable with the idea of cash flow at a smaller scale and that at
yeah,
like a slower return back into your bank account because eventually it'll
yeah,
be quicker.
and it really starts with marketing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do marketing, you don't have a business, right?
True. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what
Yeah.
you have at that point. You
Like,
have
you can
like an
buy all the
idea or,
vehicles, you can put all the team members there, and you can have a logo, and you can have cool van wraps, and you can be all ready to go, but if you don't have a customer calling you, you're going nowhere. You're just
yeah.
dying.
Yeah.
So, you gotta spend the money on the marketing to make it
Mm-hmm.
all work, to make everything go round. Like, when I had 2 or 3 guys, I was
Mm-hmm.
spending, like, $24,000 a month on marketing.
Wow. That seems like a lot from the guys that I talk to. That is
Yep.
way more than what they would be spending.
Yeah, and I would argue that that's probably, like, the number one reason we were able to grow and scale from 0 to 5 million in 2 years is
Hmm.
solely because I consistently spent money on marketing. And I've seen it in
Yeah.
other people's businesses as well. The ones who are willing to just put money in marketing consistently over and over and over again
Man, that's good.
are the ones who win. They didn't pull back on marketing. If they needed money or they were short on cash, they found cash elsewhere, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't buy this piece of equipment or didn't buy this new van or maybe scaled back
Mm-hmm.
their manpower rather than scaling back their marketing.
So you would correct me if I'm wrong, but you would say perhaps that marketing would be the last thing that you would touch if you needed to, like, well, let's say like you're in a rough spot, right? Call volume's low. Like, what's the
Mhm.
first thing you're gonna do?
So a lot of people are going to cut their marketing, but that's like the worst thing you could possibly do,
I mean, makes sense.
right?
You're trying to get call volume, taking away the thing that is the only thing that's giving you call volume.
You've got no money coming in, and you've got guys that you have to pay, but no work for them to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to cut the one thing that's going to bring in work for your guys to do. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Instead,
you know
you
what?
should be cutting the manpower, as bad as that sounds. And the
Uh-huh.
reason guys do it is because they don't want to cut their manpower because they feel
Yeah,
bad.
sure.
But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, like, if you cut your marketing, you ain't your bank account's going to continue to dwindle, and you're going
Yeah.
to have to get rid of those guys anyways.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very hard to get them back later.
Yeah, and then you're going to be out of money to spend on marketing.
Yeah, and you're
So then
screwed.
you're going to be
Then you're back
then
to
you're going to be
just
in a
you.
really bad spot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would never ever stop spending on marketing, and I would spend as much as I possibly can on it,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I think that's where a
Mm-hmm.
lot of plumbing business owners make it the mistake. They spend more on other things before their marketing is working when they really should be spending on their marketing.